How did you think about a differentiated strategy, given that Zapier is already a dominant player in that space? When you had to create Automate.io, what was the unique differentiator you or your team had in mind for you to say, this is how, when customers want to come back and ask, why should I use you instead of Zapier? How did you answer the question?
Yeah, I think the fundamental there was, Suresh, when I started in this in late 2015, and Zapier at that point was still a one-to-one simple integration, more like IFTT for business, right? You have some event happening in one application, let's say a contact being added in a CRM or somebody filling up a lead on your website, and Zapier would be, transferring that data to a CRM or sending an email. So it's a one simple trigger and action kind of a model. While Automate, the product differentiation was simply that we are a much more advanced workflow automation system. And that is where I clearly saw the customer need, at least from the few interactions that I had with folks in US. I sensed that the market need was going beyond a simple one-to-one integration. So our differentiation was clearly that while Zapier is a one-to-one integrator, we are a full workflow automation with the trigger, multiple actions, with a lot of conditional logic and branching in between. And that was, from a product standpoint, that was clearly our differentiation. It so happened that a year later, Zapier would get into that space and do the workflow automation as well. And that was like a pivotal moment for me. A lot of similar products were pivoting around that time. So when we started, there was a couple of other products who started doing this workflow automation. And when Zapier came in and did their workflow, introduced their workflows, a lot of other companies completely pivoted. And for me, that was a moment where I had to take a step back and think, now how would we differentiate? Should we go ahead with whatever we have or pivot to something completely? And to me, I took a long 1-2 months to think through about it. Talk to a few people, get their insights. And then I think I made the very right choice of going ahead with what I had, purely because of the fact that the market for such a need was really exploding with proliferating SaaS businesses everywhere, each company using 10s and 20s of SaaS applications. And, we really went on from that point on. It was a head-on competition with Zapier. But thankfully, with the space that we were in, we were not just solving a problem for the customer, we were also solving a problem for the software vendors, like a company like Kissflow, for example, right? You couldn't build a lot of integrations yourself. You'd probably build integrations for 3 or 4 applications that are very close to your ecosystem, and then probably leave the rest for Zapier to handle the integration. And the integration problem was becoming so big at this point that vendors were looking for more than just Zapier to fill in that gap. And when we went out and we started integrating with this top 50, top 30 or 100, SaaS products at that point, we were welcomed with open arms. The vendor would say, hey, we're using Zapier, but we badly need more people here. Our customers need more options. They were happy to welcome us on board as a partner. They were actively marketing us to their customer base. And that's a welcome sign that we saw, hey, there's clearly space here. We're able to solve a gap for the vendors. We're able to solve a gap for customers. And from that point, it was no looking back for us. So that was a clear indication that there is room for more players in the space. And that's how we really took it forward.